look, they are not trading Donovan Mitchell, okay? And this is me sipping my Kool-Aid. All right. Look, I want to hear your thoughts down below. Do you guys agree with this take? And let me explain why. Okay, also. Damn, this is shiny. Why are they not trading Donovan Mitchell? Because how long will it take Utah to be able to get a player of his caliber again in Utah? Same reason why Bradley Beal got offered $250 million. You're never going to turn that down. But B, listen, how often is a team like we're going to use Bradley Beal as an example? Were the Wizards going to get another player of Bradley Beal's caliber? It's going to take at least 3 to 5 years, if sooner lucky. Okay, so right there, with that being said, is they're not trading Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, Rudy Gobert, fine, that was an easy guy to replace, but Donovan Mitchell, and I'm not saying Rudy Gobert is an easy person to replace, but the center position's easier to replace than a guy who, a guy like Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is a guy who can defend when he wants to. He's a guy who can create for others, but he can take over games. He's arguably a top 25 player in the NBA. Rudy Gobert was closer to top 40, maybe, or top 30. But you could say Donovan Mitchell's a top 20 guy. And you don't get rid of those said players. You don't get rid of a guy that it's going to be hard to replace. Okay? It's not going to be easy to replace Donovan Mitchell. So why trade him? That's why they're not going to trade him. There's not enough value in the world because you don't know if you're going to get the first pick next year. You don't know if you're ever going to get the first pick. There's teams out there that's never had the first pick or they've only had the first pick once in their entirety of their franchise. So why in the hell are the Utah Jazz going to trade their player? They're not. There's no reason to. Okay? Because how long will it take them to get another player of that caliber? Players don't always pan out. Victor Wembanyama is awesome, but what if he's a bust? We don't know that. Hopefully he's not, and it seems like he's definitely not, and he's a guarantee of a great prospect. But you also don't know if you're going to get the first overall pick. Okay, now the question is, well, if you have the draft assets and the players, you can just trade for the first pick. No, because there will be teams that will say, you could trade us the entire world. You could trade us the best players. We're not trading you the first pick. Okay? Kevin Love for Andrew Wiggins seemed a suitable trade at the time. But there was still, I believe that Kevin Love was worth more than just Andrew Wiggins. Or vice, like that was a weird trade, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Kevin Love was worth more than Andrew Wiggins, who was that year's first overall pick, who hadn't played a single game. So, I mean, why would they trade Donovan? They make some no sense. Again, I've given you the Bradley Beal example. Now I'll give you the Kevin Love. Go back to the Kevin Love. People are like, well, it's just Kevin Love. No, Kevin Love was like a top 20 player when he got traded. Arguably a top 15. He was averaging like 25 and 15, okay? And you're telling me that Andrew Wiggins, who was that year's first overall pick, who was labeled Michael Jordan, who was arguably the most hyped up prospect before Zion Williamson, it was Andrew Wiggins. Okay? He was the guy that was supposed to be that guy who was going to take it to the next level. And I'm just saying, it's just like, I think people aren't looking at this and they're just thinking, oh, Donovan Mitchell is going to get traded because they're blowing it up. Nah, it's in their best interest just to retool, rebuild. How many times has Damian Lillard been rumored to be traded? So many. How many times was he traded? Nah, now he's going to be a Blazers probably for life. Probably through his entirety of his contract. Why? Because fiscally, it makes the most sense. Why would they leave? Okay, first off, money-wise, they'll make the most money staying with the team that they drafted them. B, he basically runs that franchise. Dwayne Wade's there. Okay, that's the other thing. Dwayne Wade's there. Dwayne Wade's going to make sure he's happy. All right? Dwayne Wade will make sure that there's no problems between them. Dwayne Wade was a superstar in his own right. And he left Miami. I know people can bring that up as an argument. But let's not act like they were going into a different time. Okay, it was a different era for them, so they kind of had to move on. But I think I would not worry if I'm a Utah Jazz fan. I just know everything will be all right. I'm telling you, it's all gonna work out. And this is all Fugazi. It's other teams that want Donovan Mitchell. That's the thing. People are freaking out. You know who wants Donovan Mitchell? The Miami Heat, the Nets, the Knicks, okay? Unless, like, I saw one where if they got Ben Simmons, Cam Thomas, and I saw a trade. It was actually not a bad trade, okay? It was basically 5 picks, 5 for unprotected first-round picks, and then, like, 3 pick swaps, and Cam Thomas and Ben Simmons for Donovan Mitchell, which is incredibly excessive, and it would send also Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton to the Pacers, Kevin Durant to the Suns with no assets attached, and just straight up, that's all those 2 teams would get. Then the Pacers would, not the Pacers, the Nets would get Mikal Bridges, Miles Turner, and I believe the last player was Mikal Bridges, Miles Turner, and Cam Johnson, and then that's it. And then and Donovan Mitchell. No, not Cam Johnson. Donovan Mitchell, Mikal Bridges, and Miles Turner. 5 picks and 3 pick swaps, and Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas. It's an excessive deal, but I mean, if I'm Utah right there, I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. That's a lot. Okay, I'm just giving up one guy for all that. Put me in. I get basically 5 picks and 8 good picks, and then I basically get myself Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas, great players. I still have the whole thing. We're basically a borderline playoff team. Okay, and I think it could work out pretty well for them. I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Maybe I'm just overthinking this. At this point, we're milking this to 8 minutes. But if you made it to the end, I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. But, guys, I have an NBA show. You guys should check that out. We're live daily, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Go click in the description right now. Whatever you're doing, if you're still listening to this video, go to the description and click on. I also think, what do my neighbors think of me? I do this in an apartment. But either way, go to the description. Go check out my NBA show. I have an NFL channel. I do NFL too. I just recently started. We're almost at 400 subscribers in less than a month. So that's cool. Thank you. But guys, that's basically it. I got bills to pay. So thank you for staying for 8 minutes. If you did, about 20, almost 30% of you watch to the end.